Welcome to Undiscovered, 95.9 KISS FM. Today we have someone that's not exactly undiscovered, but more of rediscovered. So we're going to hear his story, we're going to hear what he's gone through, and get to know him a little bit. What's your stage name?
Stage name.
Or your rap name or your...
It's all good. My real name, first of all, my real name is Solomon G. Williams, Solomon Gabriel Williams. And then I came up with the rap name, Mr. G Reality. That's my stage name, Mr. G Reality. The G, a lot of people are like, is that gangster? No, that's not gangster. You know, I try not to represent none of the negative images or anything like that. But I just like put that Mr. Gabriel Reality, you know. Then that sound kind of corny. You know,
So
that sound kind of
just
corny.
shorten it down to the
you know
G.
what I mean? Right. So I was like, okay, so Mr. G Reality. So it's like, it just kind of stick, Mr. G Reality.
When were you born and where?
1981, September 28, born in Phoenix, Arizona.
Describe your childhood and where was it?
Most of my childhood, you know, we spent, you know, I would say a short period of time. I think I was about seven, maybe 8 when we moved. All of my siblings, we moved to Chicago, Illinois. Pops moved us back out there. We moved to Maywood, Illinois. Stayed with my cousins and my auntie. From there, we moved to the west side of Chicago, the Lundale area. Went to Crown School Elementary, you know, me and a couple of my older siblings. That's when I first started kind of like getting familiar with, you know, the streets. As far as not me being out in the streets, but me seeing things around us, you know what I mean? We used to go in a little convenience store, and I remember they used to have like the powdered crack, you know, and they have the razor blades, you know, lining in the store.
In the convenience store?
Yeah, in the convenience store. In the convenience on the west side of Chicago, you know, so we going back and forth to school, the Crown School Elementary. And from that, you know, the neighborhood wasn't all that great, you know what I mean? It's just the early 90s where everybody was still gangbanging, you know what I mean? So Pops moved us from there to the south suburbs to Phoenix, a little town called Phoenix by Harvey, you know? So when we moved out there, because it was still in the early 90s, they kind of had like this mentality, like, okay, yeah, new kids on the block, you know what I mean? So they from the city, they moving out here, so we gonna show them we just as tough as the city, you know what I mean? So we grew up over there for like 10 years, lived over there for like 10 years, fighting on our way back and forth to school. I mean, it was this specific bus 8, and we used to always, bus 8, all my siblings remember that. We used to always go back and forth, you know, from my house and walk to bus 8 and fighting back and forth. We got a little older. Both of my parents, they snatched us out of school, you know, and decided to homeschool us. So I was homeschooled for like 9 years.
Oh, wow.
I was kind of like getting involved in the music scene, as far as rap locally, gospel rap music, that is. I didn't really know if I wanted to be a gospel rap artist or just a regular artist, but it just so happened that a lot of people got behind the gift that I had doing the music, and we all used to meet up at 115 Michigan Avenue. That's where it started off, 115 Michigan Avenue. That's where it really started off for me, on the south side of Chicago, James T. Meeks. And it was me, you know, different other local cats, you know, one of my homeboys, Judah, man, you know, so we clicked up and we started doing things around the Chicago land area. And then we got like a strong little buzz going on, you know. So, I don't know, we'll say from that, it generated to, he had got this little idea together. He wanted to get this independent label off the ground called Thought Life Records, you know. So I was like, okay, that's what's up. So I'm down with the idea. So we got together. We started doing our thing around the city, you know, doing concerts here and there, speaking in prisons, schools, youth detention centers all over the city. You know, I was loving it. We was getting our names out there, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but at the same time being very very influential to helping the community, you know, as far as impacting people, you know, letting them know their self-worth. But from there, we hooked up with this dude named LGY, gospel rap artist.
I've heard of him.
LGY, yeah. And then we soon went on tour with him back in 2004. And from that, we landed a distribution deal through Central South. And Infinity is like a division of Central South, so they're actually the distribution company that put out our albums in stores.
Okay.
You know, so I cut like 2 albums technically, but like 3, because we had to revise like the first one. The first one's called The Message.
Okay.
And then after that, we had to redo the quality of the music and everything because we was kind of like getting a little bit more success, a little bit more feedback.
Ask you, you had a lot of things happen through your growing up and all that.
Yeah.
Who would you say was the most influential person when you were growing up?
I probably would say my pops. You know what I mean?
What was it about him that
my pops enforced the law, like for real. Like we was sheltered. You know what I mean? I actually think back on that. If we wasn't sheltered the way we was, I might be locked up. I might be in the cemetery. You know what I mean?
A statement was made that really made me think, and it said, restrain, restrict, release. And boy, that made me think. It's just like when you are young, you have to restrain your child from doing everything they want to do.
Real talk.
When they get older, you have to restrict what they get to do.
Yeah.
And because you've prepared them, there's a time that you have to release.
Right.
And hope that you have done a good job while you're restraining and restricting.
Yeah.
And I'm the opposite side.
Right.
I had no restraint and no restrictions. And that I'm in front of you is a miracle.
I got to brag though. You know what I mean? Us being sheltered. Now I'm a real. You ain't gonna hear me talking about. Yeah, I did this. Although I have done some dirt in my life. You know what I mean? You know, I caught a couple cases in my life. You know what I mean? I've been locked up a couple times in my life. But I since we on this subject, I don't feel that because I'm a rap artist that. And I gotta say this for the other artists and all the other rappers that want to be rappers. You know what I mean? You don't have to have what they call a street cred if you really got a heart to do music. And when I meet the average Joe Blow person on the street, I meet them with the respect in my mind, like, okay, I don't know you, but everybody, it's purpose. You know, everybody that I meet, it's like, okay, there's something within you that could be deposited within me, and there's something within me that can be deposited within that person. And relationship is a really big key thing to me, you know what I mean? Because whether you have an education, whether you're knowledgeable about just the littlest things, if you have a relationship, that can get you far.
What was your first job?
My very first job was me working at this little food store called Waltz in South Holland, Illinois.
Okay.
You know, and I was like doing night stop, you know. Actually, they had me doing like aisle number 9, which was the cat food, dog food, face and everything. You know what I mean?
They gotta be able to see cat child.
Yeah, right. You know.
But, okay. What was your worst job?
Industrial cleaning. You know, you go to different restaurants. We won't say any names or anything. They clean out their exhaust systems.
Okay.
And all that.
Yeah. That
gutty, gunky grease. You know what I mean?
Tell me something that you went through already that has prepared you for what you're about to do now.
Like when you, it's a difference to wanting to be something at that time, and then once you get involved in that thing, you really understand the in-depthness of that thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like music is very sensual. Music takes words to places where we can never go, you know. As far as the ups and downs, smiles and frowns of meeting the sharks in the industry, you know what I mean? I've been through that already. I've learned to watch out for those who have a gift for gab, you know what I mean? That manipulation, that control, the dollar signs in their eyes, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Independence is the best way to go.
Do you have any kids?
I don't have no kids.
No children.
No kids.
Yeah, well,
I want kids though.
okay.
You know, whenever God send me that wife, you know what I mean? Definitely. I want like at least a boy and a girl.
Yeah.
And then I want to adopt some kids. So,
what are you the most grateful for in your life?
God's grace. All I have to say is grace. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna stand in front of the cameras or anything like that. Sometimes I know. Sometimes I know things to do right, but I end up straying off. You know what I mean? We're saying because our flesh is the way it is.
That's why you
know,
answered what you answered.
Right.
So.
Because God's grace. You know what I mean? It's more than just a cliche when I say it's sufficient. Some edifying stuff.
Some edifying stuff.
Yeah.
So, Mr. G Reality, you can Facebook it, Google it, whatever you got to do, but find it. And thank you for watching. And make sure you check out the show, Undiscovered, 95.9 KISS FM. Thank you.